I guess we can start recording. Hello, welcome. Let's see. Um, Echo. Echo. That's kind of dope.
Going to believe me.
Who determined and how did they determine how many calories are in certain food?
Wild. You're not going to believe me. Calories are not a measure of what our bodies do with food. They are a measure of heat. And heat in what circumstance, do you ask? Heat inside of a device called a bomb calorimeter, where scientists will insert dehydrated food, and then the calories are not a measure of what our bodies do with food.
Okay. I think most people would agree with this definition. That nutrition is the scientific study of what our bodies do with food. I think it goes a little bit beyond this. It's what our bodies do with food. Drink. And breath and light. I.e. the it's like the sorry, hang on. Yeah, okay. So, Did I? What happened? Or I guess my screen died for a second. What? Anyways, let's see. According to Anchor. So it doesn't make sense. Okay. Let's check this out. Hang on, maybe let me change the brightness. Okay. Let's check this out. Hang on, maybe let me change the brightness. That's good. Okay. All right. So, what is nutrition? Jesus. I'm trying. It's the scientific study of what our bodies do with environmental stuff. It's the scientific study of what our bodies do. Yeah. It's like, hey, we need things in our environment like food and drink to survive. And breathing and light. Or like that's the necessary for organisms to live. And so nutrition is the study of what our bodies do with all that stuff and why we need it. And so if calories are not a measure of what our bodies do with food, according to Hank Green, it's a bunch of bullshit. I'm just going to say it like that. These are old measurements. Sorry, my room's messy. These are old measurements. Sorry. Let's just watch more of this.
They are a measure of heat. And heat in what circumstance, do you ask? Heat inside of a device called a bomb calorimeter, where scientists will insert dehydrated food, and then they'll put ignition wires into the food, pump the chamber full of oxygen, and light it on fire. It explodes, and And then the heat produced heats up the entire system inside the bomb calorimeter, and we measure how much the heat increased. And that's how we know how many calories food has. Now, this is roughly equivalent to what happens in our own bodies. It doesn't explode, but it is oxidized over time, and that is analogous. That heat is analogous to the energy that we produce from the food that we eat. And that's why calories are a thing that we care about. Kinda neat.
No, it's not neat. It's wrong.
Who determined and like how did they determine how many calories are in certain food?
Which is wild. You're not going to believe me. Calories are not a measure of what our bodies do with food.
Okay. Okay. That's all I need. So welcome to Materials Nutrition. No. 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 So. Okay, so materials nutrition. The study of water body used from the environment and how it materially affects cells, tissues, health, and performance. Because even things like light, which are technically like immaterial, like aren't, it's hard to argue that light's material. I mean, you can from like a creative standpoint, but it does create vitamin D, which has a material effect on cells, tissues, health, and performance. So that's going to be what we're going to study. We're going to just completely ignore calories forever and study nutrition this way. And this is going to be materials nutrition. Because calories are not scientific. They're not useful for nutrition anymore because they've been so overused. And so we're going to go on to things that are useful. So we're going to start with just the basics, and we're going to try and work our way from there. And here's the deal. I don't have this all together yet. I really am going to be building this as we go. I wanted to be farther on this than I am, but I'm not, so here we go. Okay, anyways, starting with the macronutrients. that's what we're going to need at first. So here we go. Starting with the macronutrients, that's what we're going to need at first. I'll probably swap that one. I'm going to do these in my order. Just really one more. These are the 5 macronutrients: protein, oils, water, oxygen, carbohydrates, kind of. Of all of these, this is the only one, carbohydrates, you actually don't need to survive, because your body can use protein to make carbohydrates or glucose. That's on the slate. So these are the something a macronutrient. So we need a lot of our macronutrients to be healthy. That means we have good tissue function, and that's what we're looking for. So a lack of one of these nutrients can cause severe illness and death. Lack of carbohydrates, you can survive. You might have some symptoms, but you'll be all right. That's the whole point of ketogenic diets. It's just not getting rid of the carbohydrates. It's ketogenic because you really just need the top macronutrients. And obviously, like, these last two have nothing to do with that bullshit heat source. So, well, I guess that one does, but and I guess technically that one does too. I still hate it. It doesn't. It's not how the cell functions. It's not how myosin move. That's already been proven on stuff we'll go over later. But first, we gotta go over this. So, how much of each of all this do we need? Oxygen. We're gonna do this in a practical sense. So, we're gonna say the more the better on oxygen. Just the more the better. Infinitely. Assuming natural air quality. So, because pure oxygen would kill you. So, assuming, like regular breath as it is now, the better we could breathe, the better we get. And because oxygen is so consistent, it is also a very special macronutrient. It's funny that we start with oxygen because I thought I was going to save it for almost last. This one, right here, is special because oxygen, we can use oxygen as the gold standard for nutrient delivery. To the cells. So I don't know how accurate this statement is, but I like it. I'm gonna tell you why. We always have to breathe, and our cells have to get in that oxygen. So I think it demonstrates a healthy cell transport chain, even though I know it's probably different channels. Ooh, that's good to look up. What channels does O2 deliver through in cell membrane? So we'll look that up and we'll find out that answer. And we'll start writing this stuff down. So that's oxygen. That's going to be important for other training. Remember, this is exercise update. We're talking about training, and like the whole point is like getting better at personal training stuff. So by using using exercises that improve capillary density and things that would improve oxygen delivery, we could also assume would help with delivery of other nutrients as well. And so that's why we use it as the gold standard in exercise, because then we're like, okay, if we can help deliver more oxygen to the cells, then we're probably going to start helping deliver the rest of these. And I know like protein and carbohydrates have a link together for absorption. Oils and stuff we got to look at a little bit more. And the reason we're calling them oils and not fats is because of the negative connotation with fats, for one. For two, you actually want to eat more oils. Oils are liquid at room temperature, fats are solid at room temperature. And we want in nutrition to be more oils, like the omega-3s, the olive oils and everything, even though they may come in a solid form, like in the muscles of salmon, or like in the meat of the avocado, but they're just like structurally suspended oils, because that's what we're looking for, is the oils. That's why you can press out avocado oil, because it's so dense in oils. But yeah, water, of course, we need, obviously, for a number of reactions. We'll go over that too. Why not use like water as the gold standard? Because water has too much influential actions on everything else, like the osmosis effect, and just how it's used. Like oxygen is pretty straightforward with how it's getting used. It's just going to the mitochondria. I'm sure there's other reactions and stuff. We'll be looking into that, all the stuff that oxygen is used for in the body, besides just like cellular respiration. But we got the water, and then oils, and the protein. Protein, I know we're doing 1.6 grams per kilogram. And so I need to do the math. I'm going to do the math real quick. Here's how I'm going to do the math. Let's readjust this. This whole thing is cray. I bet you it's... I just got to turn this off. Okay. I'm just going to turn that off. Oh no, it is my OBS Studio. Okay, yeah, it's just my OBS Studio. I do want to kind of change.
Hi, I'm JT, and I made Result Hunter, the search engine for conservatives. Let me just tell you.
Oh, it smells nice. kilograms to pounds. So, what is this one? I just use a paper. Okay, so 1.6 grams per kilogram is equal to X grams per 1 pound. And 1 pound is equal to 2.2 kilograms. That's a lot of transferring. Okay. Because it just crisscrosses, right? 1.6 grams. No, hang on. This is one. Oh, I just get rid of that. Okay. So 6 grams over 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 kilograms over 1 pound. 1.6 divided by 2.2. That's pretty close. That's pretty much it. Okay. 0.727. And the bottom, 1.2 divided by 2.2. 0.55 or 545. Okay. So we got protein 1.6, well, it's 0.727 because I'm in America, so we're going to do this in American units. 0.727 grams per pound, or 0.545 grams per pound. That's the range. It's 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram. Keep that up so I get that weight. I like that backdrop. And so that's what we do for our clients. We need to know all this as trainers, so that we can provide the best information as possible. We need to know about the oxygen and everything. Of course, it's better to breathe better, but like that's common sense. But it's important to be able to explain why and what we're trying to do and how that works, and using it as the gold standard for like cellular delivery. The question I have is how much oils. I've seen minimums be between 0.5 and 1
It's everything you
gram
wish
per
for. Your
kilogram.
site traffic is skyrocketing until this happens. Be careful what you wish for. Build your site on a platform that's engineered for success. So as traffic spikes, instead of overloading your servers, your site infrastructure scales to handle it.
Translates to
Backed up by tens of thousands of servers worldwide, maintaining 99.98% uptime. Wix.
0.5 divided by 2.2. 0.5.
Not everyone's life runs in straight lines. At Sophia, we get that. Our flex.
Point 227. Should just be double that, honestly. Let's do it the long way. 1 divided by 2.2. Checks out. I'm gonna double check it out. Unless specific conditions, water is good. Just to keep it simple. The only thing we really need to do is protein and fats. We need to get those. Carbs is next. That's important to make sure that protein gets absorbed. Might help with the fat absorption, helps with other hormone releases. So, and then which we need in small amount. Okay? Okay. And these are we're gonna do 4 categories for this, just to make it real clear. Fat, soluble vitamins, water, to change everything, you know. I'm not just trying to change things to change things. I'm just trying to get the right answers. And because calories doesn't tell us what food does in our bodies, that's all I want to do is find out what food does to our bodies, and how we can change our bodies, and not just use some approximation based on heat. And so this is how we do it. This comes down to larger stuff. Hang on, I gotta take a picture of this stuff. It's important to have good record keeping. And here comes part 2 of record keeping. Write it down. Well, I suppose I should write this down. Alright. Meaning they're just showing it. Nutrition, calories, measures for what our bodies do with food, measures for what our bodies do with food. Calories is on one side, nutrition on the other. Needs It's not a nutritional measurement. We shouldn't be using it in nutrition. It's just annoying. It's paid thousands of dollars to study nutrition. Thousands of dollars to study nutrition. You're giving me the wrong answers. You keep telling me they're right. Like, I don't know. Physical health, nutrition, environment, the junction, universe. I don't even know if any of that was got. My stream keeps cutting out every 10 seconds. Mic check. Mic check. Okay, cool. I'm on that delay. So that's that. Speaking of sunlight, I look pasty as hell. I do work in a factory. Alright. That's done. I'm about to go make some food. Alright. I'll be right back. Leave it up. I'll leave it up. Make some food. Think about this. about calories? Do I have a viewer, or is it just me? I don't have a chat or not. Do I have a viewer, or is it just me? I don't have a chat or not. Alright. So, what is a calorie? Yeah, let's do this. What's a calorie and why is it wrong? Why is it not a good measurement of nutrition? Let's do this. What's a calorie and why is it wrong? Why is it not a good measurement? The heat energy required to raise 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. That's the definition of a calorie. It has nothing to do with the food. That's the definition of a calorie. Nothing to do with the food. The echoes. All right. So how do we know it's wrong? Well, just gonna pull up the evidence. Let's just go here. So if we look here for this calorie theory, we can see that this right here, ATP hydrolysis, is when it the heat is released, and usually in an engine that means that would be the power stroke, but that is clearly up here when these are ejected. First, it just changes the affinity, so it could bind, and then it releases those, and it changes the conformity of the structure, and that causes the structure to shift and move. Rotates. The train just it just pushes everything away from each other. It compresses. L50 loop 50 H through C. Okay. Yeah, but it's basically just a giant mechanical action. Shifts, it shifts, it shifts, shifts, it shifts, it shifts, it shifts, it shifts. It's pretty crazy. So it's not the heat that changes this, it's electronegativity. So this is what is electrical? Negativity, electrical. Let's just get some images first. Okay, so it could be positively charged or negatively charged depending on how many electrons it has versus the amount of nucleus, you know, just the charge, because its electrons are negative. So when there's more electrons and, you know, there's more hydrogen over here, the electrons are shared over here, so it's going to be more polarized. Electrons are bunched up over here, so, you know, positive, positive, negative. And then when you get into larger molecules, beta sheets. Protein beta sheets. Okay, so proteins can fold into different configurations, and some of these are called beta sheets. So like when you see these spirals in here, those are all beta sheet conformations. There's also here we go, alpha helix or beta helix. Oh, I guess that's more of an alpha helix. I guess beta, oh yeah, because it's beta sheet, so I get that wrong, I'm dumb. The longer strands are beta sheets, and then the curlies are alpha helixes. And see, like, just look how crazy this stuff gets, you know. And these can all act as like levers and pulleys. Find out more about beta sheets. So beta strands connected laterally by at least 2 or 3 backbone hydrogen, getting a twisted, pleated sheet. So it just shows the direction of the amino acids when it's sheeted up. So that'll be all these arrows show the directions, but they're connected into a larger sheet. Sheet. It's pretty cool. C terminus should be the final terminus. The tail, yeah, the end. carbon right here. When protein's translated from RNA, it's created N to C. So make sure that the amine is the terminus. And that's why it's N-terminus. Okay. So like a rock solver is the N-terminus. Cool. That's a double bond to O and then OH. Okay. And so when did we discover ATP? 1929. I was even wrong. I'm a little wrong. We all are. When do we start calories? I'm just gonna do this a bit quicker. Oh, here we go. Alright. Atwater's 1987 article on food energy in Magazine and Farmers Bulletin. So, 1887. The calorie was not a unit of heat in the original metric system. Some histories state that the defined calorie, modern kilocalorie, originated with Favre and Silberman in 1852 or Mayer in 1848. However, Nicolas Clement introduced calories in lectures on heat engines that were given in Paris between 1819 and 1824. So 1819. That's 110 years. At the most. Calories was already defined in Belcharore's 1845 Dictionnaire National. In 1863, the word entered the English language through translation of Gonter's popular French physics test, which defined calorie as the heat needed to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water from 0 to 1 degree Celsius. Oh, it's kilogram. 1 kilogram. Maybe that's still true. I don't know. Barthelot distinguishes between gram and kilogram calories by 1879. Raymond uses the kilocalorie. And discussions of human energy needs in 1894. 1894. Calorie physiology. Raymond. U.S. food labels. 1894 from Atwater, 1887. So all of these dates, calorie dates, 1819. 1887, so we came up with calories. God damn it. Alright, come here. Come on, mouse. Work with me. Alright. Should just make these two scenes easier transition. These are the dates: 1819 to 1894 for calories. Let's talk about physiology. 1929. What was that? When was sliding football theory? Cool. Huxley. We're just retroactively using calories to explain things we're discovering more recently. Years from the end. 125 to 6 years. Come on. 125 years old. It's just a theory. Like, it doesn't make sense. Calories don't make sense. This is a book I didn't want to get. Came out when I was born, damn. Yeah. Looks good. Oh, you couldn't see it. This one. UPT hydrolysis, that's where the heat is released. That's where it's all attributed to retroactively. Power stroke's way over here. There's still a pre-power stroke and more binding, and then the power stroke. ATP induced. ATP was not observed in filaments in which ATPase of the myosin was eliminated. So it even needs an enzyme. It's not just purely, it can't just have this breakdown. It needs an enzyme to break it down as well. There's one. Oh yes, here we are, swinging lever hypothesis. So they were able to demonstrate it by moving it with the let's just go up to the summary. Yeah. Common view mechanism involves cross-bridge hypothesis. This hypothesis, however, is rather vague on the molecular details of the cross-bridge movement in light of recent determined crystal structures amongst the X, or provides the swinging lever arm hypothesis. So it's not cross-bridging from explosions in hydrolysis, it's swinging from electromagnetic forces. However, in spite of the large test effort, the actual molecular events that transduce chemical injury into mechanical injury remain largely unknown. So to say that it is done by calories and it is calories and it's always calories is clearly not scientific, because we don't know. We have not proven how calories move things. We just use it as a metaphor, like you said, Hank. But it's not science. We need to actually get to what is science. There's a study I had that had showed that when ADP was applied to it, it switched back. Was it here? Was here? That sucks. Yeah. I'm gonna go check on my pie, but check this out real quick. Oh wait, it's in here. Yeah, I guess all my pie is done. Damn it, come on. Alright, I'll be back. Yeah. So, this doesn't make sense. It's not how it works. That'll probably be it for my first video. I'm tired of filming myself. I'm sure it's been a couple hours. Let's see. Hour and a half, yeah. So, I could probably edit that down to like 10 minutes of content, I'm sure. But, peace. If you want follow Exercise Update on Twitch, so you can be a part of this, and so I'm not just by myself. But yeah, we're gonna go over this. I'll be working on my books. I work during the week, have a regular job, but we'll be answering questions about calories and nutrition, and getting this stuff done and solved by 2025, hopefully. So we'll be working on it, but. I'm gonna go take a break.